From blatantly stealing user data to spying through victims' face cams, many Minecraft clients may seem innocent on the surface, but hide a much darker and much more sinister intent. It needs to be said that not every Minecraft client has a dark and sinister history. Some actually care about their community, like Melon Client, but this could not be said for TLauncher. TLauncher started off as a humble project made by new and upcoming developer Artur Kusanov. Artur developed the first initial versions of TLauncher, a cracked launcher which allows users to play Minecraft without actually having to pay for the game. As Artur's project became more and more popular, he was approached by ru-minecraft.org, a Russian website famous for cracked Minecraft versions, texture packs, and more. Seeing this as a great opportunity to grow TLauncher further, Artur agrees to host the TLauncher project on ru-minecraft.org's website for $150.
Money.
However, there was no fundamental discussion of who exactly owned the rights to TLauncher's code, and this combined with ru-minecraft.org having a questionable past involving
hidden malware.
This is where things started to go horribly wrong. This wasn't the only problem with ru-minecraft.org, as most of the texture packs, mods, and clients hosted on their website were in fact blatantly stolen. After Artur quit developing TLauncher further due to his dislike of the shady practices, it got a whole lot worse. Reddit users started noticing that there was something now very wrong inside of TLauncher's code. Inside the code, there were traces
of spyware.
This code reveals that once installed, TLauncher would gain direct access to your internet connection, your antivirus, and much, much more. It's obvious that any legitimate launcher would never, ever required this much control over your computer. For running a Minecraft client, something much more suspicious
is going on.
The worst thing about this is that they've only just been exposed for the crimes that they've committed, thanks to TheMrEpics video on TLauncher that got 1 million views.
Nice.
What happens next for TLauncher is a complete mystery. A trend that I myself have noticed for specifically a lot of Minecraft PvP clients is that whenever a new client is announced, its trailer will show a bunch of semi-compelling features, and as a result, the trailer acquires a large amount of views and support. This support converts into excitement. As the anticipation rises for the client's grand release date, something always goes horribly
wrong.
As this was the case for Melon Client, its release was nothing less than completely devastating. On January the 6th, 2021, after seeing the success of Melon Client and Badlion Client, YouTuber Elon Musk Melon, with 6,000 subscribers at the time, began work on his very own PvP client, which he named Melon Client.
They almost drowned when they went out boating, but I gotta want them alone to keep me floating.
The developers working on Melon Client were Elon Musk Melon, Lasershock, Glitch, and Kameson. A month later in February, a trailer was uploaded to the Melon Client YouTube channel, and because the community wanted a new rival to Melon Client, and with Elon Musk Melon's online presence, the trailer blew up, making waves of attention across the Minecraft 1.8 community. With people saying how good Melon Client appeared to be, the client had very high expectations from the very beginning to outperform the competition, which would only unfortunately be a contributing factor to its eventual demise. Leading right up to Melon Client's release to the public, the client suddenly was discontinued just days before its scheduled release. A strange time to discontinue a client, right? Well, this happened due to a series of unfortunate events that happened just days before its proposed release date, which would eventually lead to the client never being fully released. These series of unfortunate events can all be put down to one likely cause, this being Elon Musk Melon's role as owner of the client. This can be observed consistently through interviews with Melon Client's own developers, with Kameson, lead developer of the client, stating their reasons for quitting the project were as a result of Elon's poor management and lack of care towards his own client.
I was the main developer and the only developer for Melon Client. I wasn't happy with how Elon handled being the owner of Melon Client. He didn't really do anything. He was just sitting there making videos about...
Group DMs with the developers reveal Elon's refusal to fix any of the persisting issues. This obviously causing the mod team to become impatient. After its eventual death and a deleted Discord server with over 12,000 members, Elon Musk Melon then went on to host an hour-long livestream explaining why he suddenly abandoned Melon Client. However, the livestream has since been removed, leaving a mystery to whether his response was actually viewed positively or not. Since, attempts to revive the client have since been made, but with the community's trust abolished and at an all-time low, even a new developer team could not save the client as it now fades into obscurity. Rest in peace. Creating any Minecraft client at all is a bit of a difficult task. A task where you must juggle with the community's endless expectations, while upon release, the likelihood of the client just being forgotten or something just going wrong is massive, it's huge. In that sense, I sorta do feel bad for clients such as Melon Client, as both expectation and competition make it nearly impossible to thrive as a new client. A year before Melon Client's eventual demise, a certain hacked client was about to commit a federal crime. Introducing Phobos, a 2b2t hacked client. 2b2t being Minecraft's largest anarchy server, a wasteland with no rules, and especially
No morals.
a server where having the best Minecraft hack client allows you to reign superior over others. You may have already seen the Wifies video on this client, but if you haven't, allow me to clarify the story of Phobos. Phobos was a hacked client developed by Crystal Inc., Megan, Earthquake, and O'Hare. This client went viral in the 2b2t community, obtaining an astonishing 4,000 downloads in just 24 hours of its release. This was because of Phobos' advanced Crystal Aura hack. Crystal PvP is a pretty big deal on anarchy servers, and Phobos' Crystal Aura was unbeatable. Thus, Phobos was miles ahead of the competition. Players who had this client had much more power and control over their counterparts. And as word began to spread of the undeniable power of Phobos' Crystal Aura, and as more people would succumb to downloading Phobos, it wouldn't be long before Phobos would be exposed for having a much more sinister incentive. Within what felt like a week, several famous secret bases would be mercilessly destroyed. Zalanor, a secret base that was previously untouched for several years, destroyed. And nobody knew why this was happening, leading players to now suspect that something was going on. All the while this was taking place, Phobos users' computers were being infected. Little did the users of Phobos know their computers were getting infected with malware. More specifically,
Spyware.
a backdoor created by the Phobos developers themselves allowed them to steal player information, in this case, base coordinates, but also their Discord accounts, Minecraft logins. The hackers even had access to victim screens. Suddenly, thousands of players, actual people, were at risk. But why? A Discord user going by the name OX22 performed a deep scan of Phobos' code. OX22 was always suspicious of Phobos. What he found inside of Phobos' code was nothing less than completely disturbing, as he had uncovered a dark secret. Deeply concealed inside of Phobos' code was, of course, malware. The development team of Phobos had also had previous projects that similarly also had malicious intentions. It would be revealed that Phobos' hidden malware was not actually focused on attacking the average user, but more specifically was built to hack into the owners of other hacked clients, as the development team of Phobos believed that these clients were basically not worth the money. Due to OX22's correct suspicions and very quick thinking, the word that Phobos was a virus spread like wildfire. As a result of all the damages caused by Phobos, Phobos has made history in the community of 2b2t, being deemed one of the most colossal disturbances of all time. However, Phobos was nothing in comparison to the complete failure of Cheatbreaker. Cheatbreaker honestly must have the world record for one of the fastest times to completely kill a client and its reputation, despite this occurring over like half a decade ago in 2017. Originally announced in July 2017, Cheatbreaker was one of the first advanced PvP clients of its time, and being the predecessor of Luna Client, it would eventually pave the way for more advanced clients to be developed. At the time though, clients such as 5sigmod, LabbyMod, and Badlion were dominating the competition, but Cheatbreaker had an advantage that other clients did not seem to have. Cheatbreaker's development team was very knowledgeable and experienced, developed by the team behind MineHQ, a very popular PvP server at the time. The developers of MineHQ knew exactly what mods to put inside of their PvP client, and as a result, the client had many compelling features, one of which being a client-side anti-cheat. I remember this client and more distinctively, the immense hype that this client garnered, and I believe this was because at the time, Minecraft was at one of its lowest points in terms of popularity, and players were looking for something more, and for them, Cheatbreaker was the answer. The MineHQ development team was especially careful when developing the Cheatbreaker client. They were aware of the risks of developing a client, and they were especially cautious, extremely cautious, to the point where even when the client was leaked, literally nobody could access it, as the developers had implemented a whitelist. Only players on the whitelist could access the client. With the cautious nature of Cheatbreaker's development team and their substantial knowledge in coding and design, along with huge community support and backing by many YouTubers and influencers, it seemed like things were going great. It seemed like nothing could go wrong for Cheatbreaker, but it did. Cheatbreaker's perfect reputation would only crumble away piece by piece as time progressed. Cheatbreaker was released to the public 1 year later, and after spending a surprisingly long time in development, which hurt the client's popularity, it would become known that release of the client would mark the end of the client's popularity. Around Cheatbreaker's release, rumors of the owner of Cheatbreaker, J-Hole, let's just say potentially being a pretty bad person, started gaining attention. I won't go into detail because this was nasty stuff. This was one of the worst things that could have happened to Cheatbreaker, and as a result, as the owner's reputation took a nosedive, along went Cheatbreaker's reputation too, with trust in the client now at an all-time low, and several videos created accusing Cheatbreaker of having spyware, malware, and account loggers. Whether or not this was true didn't really matter, as Cheatbreaker's reputation was already long demolished. It's clear to say that this completely killed the hype. Its release would generate only a third of the hype of the initial announcement. The Cheatbreaker client would fade completely into obscurity.
What is up, guys? I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for not uploading for over 23 days. I'm gonna keep this really short. But I thought it would be funny if I listed all the things that went wrong with making this video.